prior to me being a victim of one of these stories, I think I used to believe what I read in the papers, because you just presume that you can't possibly print lies in a newspaper. The fact is, you can, and he did, over and over and over again.
It's appalling. It's a scandal. It's a huge miscarriage of justice, and there ought to be proper investigations into it.
We were telling them there's at least 400 people in that building. We were out there on the night, we saw what happened. Why are you telling us that 7 people have died?
It must promote high standards of journalism and protect both the public interest and the rights and liberties of individuals.
The core criminal activity is hacking and blagging.
The illegal accessing of telephone calls, illegal surveillance, and essentially blagging out information. Now, those are monumentally criminal acts. You know, people went to jail for that.
The criminal activity is more serious and more widespread.
In 2011, the prosecution against the suspects was dropped. It was the weight of previous police corruption and incompetence that the case collapsed.
They came into my home, where I live with my child, with a hidden camera. It doesn't just happen to celebrities and royal family at all. You know, I'm not anything like that, and if they'll come after me, they'll come after absolutely anybody.
Muslim people in the UK were experiencing unprecedented levels of harassment, violent harassment at times, and abuse.
Hate crimes were higher. There was a sort of a sense of this sort of anti-Muslim rhetoric around the country, and I just didn't feel safe. And largely in part of those headlines.
It's inconceivable to me that a responsible journalist or a responsible publication would not take more care, would not strive to avoid aggravating that climate.
How can national newspapers purport to hold power to account in a national crisis, i.e. the coronavirus pandemic, when they're also accepting money from the government that's making those decisions in order to stay afloat and sort of boost its finances?
In my case, and 2 other cases, we now have 3 MPs out of 11 on the Select Committee who have brought claims. And this leads me strongly to suspect that the whole of the committee was systematically hacked. And if that's true, it adds another insidious dimension to what was happening, because it is really an attack, an organised attack, on parliamentary democracy, scrutiny and accountability.
You have newspapers looking out for their own interests, in line with the interests of politicians, because those interests are the same thing.
Fleet Street has bullied our politicians away from forcing them in to a regulatory scheme which properly holds them to account. Now that is serious for us all.
It's still that, it'll be tomorrow's kind of chip paper mentality. But actually they destroy lives.